left millions without power for days, and Texans had a lot of questions about the reliability of the state's energy system. Nick Loris joins us now. He's an energy expert and economist. Thank you for being with us, Nick. We appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Let's talk about this. We saw road closures for days, power outages, loss of heat, busted pipes, a whole lot. How much did this cost the state of Texas?
Yeah, it cost a whole lot. If you look at estimates from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, they pegged the direct costs at about $24 billion when measuring all of the insured losses. So we know that directly. Economists at the Dallas Federal Reserve, they estimated all the costs in total, direct and indirect, to be anywhere from $80 billion to $130 billion. Because if you think about all the people that couldn't go to work, businesses that couldn't open or operate for days and weeks at a time, all of that foregone economic activity is lost as well. And that's more difficult to measure, but you're still talking about potentially over $100 billion in lost economic activity because of this great freeze last year.
Yeah, that is huge when you think about day after day. And there's a huge tourist economy there as well. What other economic impacts did they experience?
Yeah, just trying to rebuild. There was a lot of damage done to the system. It took weeks, if not months, for businesses to come back online. And so the amount of damage that was done to water systems, to pipelines, just the general roadways, all of this took time to rebuild. Takes money to rebuild as well. And so if you are thinking to try to get down south during the winter time on spring break, and there might be some trepidation about going to Texas if there's a winter freeze going on. So again, you're exactly right with all that lost travel opportunity as a major tourist hub where folks in the Northeast are trying to avoid these winter storms. Maybe having a second thought when it comes to a storm like what we saw with Storm Uri last year.
Yeah, no kidding, especially because when you think about snowbirds, they don't go just to Florida. They go south, and Texas is one of those spots. Has the state done anything else to help prepare for the next big winter storm that comes through?
Yeah, they got to work immediately, and that's one thing the state legislatures and the Texas Public Utility Commission should be commended for. They looked at new winterization requirements. They put in place a two-phase plan. The first phase talking about more winterization and weatherization of some of that natural gas and other energy infrastructure to prepare for a storm. They also put in place a number of emergency preparedness responses, so the rolling blackouts can roll a little more effectively than they did last year. And that was part of the problem, is what was labeled critical infrastructure was a little more subjective than I think we would want it to be. And the rolling blackouts didn't roll as frequently as they should have. And that left families without power for way too long. And so there's a lot of lessons still to be learned from this storm, but Texas should be commended for taking some of the steps that they've already done to reduce the risks of such an extreme scenario happening next time around.
Yeah, no kidding. And they get hit also by hurricanes. They get severe weather. We're going to be talking possibilities of severe weather this week. Is there anything else that they can do a little bit better? I'm sure they're constantly having this conversation.
Yeah, I think better demand response so that if people are safe, if they have generators, can curb their use of their energy and electricity and ensure it goes to that critical infrastructure. I think one thing that's being discussed right now is some sort of reserve requirement, and the economists and the energy economists that I've talked to are warning that might not be necessary, that the cost of doing so, requiring so much backup generation that is rarely used, may not be the necessary step forward. That's going to cost Texans, both as families and businesses, a lot of money to pay for generation and backup generation that they will hardly ever use. And so there are pragmatic steps, I think, to continue to weatherize the infrastructure, to continue to allow for better price signals so businesses and households can respond more efficiently when something like this happens without re-engineering Texas's whole electricity system.
Boy, thanks so much, Nick Loris. It's really great talking with you. We appreciate all of your insight, really good points, and we look forward to talking with you again in the future. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Craig.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, to read more about the great Texas freeze, you can just head over to